Alrighty. Let's go fuck up a spider.
So, for those of you just joining us last time around, we took a detour to the mall, and then the game took a sudden hard right turn into Digimon. Only, in this case, there's no monsters on our side, so, the Digidestined kids are just gonna beat the shit out of everything themselves with their own Digivices.
And I mean, really, who can blame them?
Basically, we're 4 or 5 hours in, and the game has now suddenly finally gotten actually interesting.
I mean, I can think of games with, that take longer to even get going. So, this probably isn't too bad.
I just know that someone is probably going to reply with, like, a post that just says, like, oh, this is par for the course for a Falcon game, what were you expecting? So...
Anyway, we'll take a second to make sure that Yuki is equipped with, literally anything before we drag him into this dungeon.
You'd think that the game would at least give him some, like, basic equipment and skills.
Anyway, Yuki is a genius, cool shooter, according to the game. We'll see what that means shortly.
My mind inserted 2 extra letters into that phrase, and I'm sure you can probably guess which 2. And I'm going like, that's a little bit on the nose there, Tokyo Xanadu. Oh, wait.
So, as you can probably guess, from the fact that he's a shut-in computer nerd, Yuki sucks in Melee. His main use is his little drone that he has. So that actually does his cast for him. So, Yuki is the only character who can shoot and move at the same time. This makes him great at doing, like, a hit and run, and pretty terrible at everything else.
It's like going from near Gestalt to, Replicant.
I'm actually kind of surprised that him getting the big giant hammer was absolutely non-indicative of, like, what his gameplay role would be. Because, like, I would have honestly thought, like, in just about every other JRPG that lets you use a hammer, like, the hammer is usually, like, your massive physical damage dealer.
Oh, don't worry, we're getting that very soon. That's the next party member.
And I was gonna say that had Shield written all over it, but,
Well, at least we have Devil Survivor 1 for our, inexplicably super strong, nerd character.
Yeah, these robots take quite a bit of punishment, and that's with using Sora, who has their weakness, so...
So what you're saying is this is kind of where the game stops fucking around?
I don't know that I'd say fucking around, but it is definitely a, it's a bit more... It's another step up, we'll put it that way.
Also, like, I do want to just take a moment to just appreciate the background track for this area, which, again, kind of sounds like a techno-inspired Parasite Eve track.
These secondary robots are... They're pretty fragile, so they go down quickly, but they are a pain in the ass because their main attack is a 5-way shot, and they love to come in groups of like 2 or 3. So there's a lot of crossfire going on there.
Hooray, bullet hell?
I've noticed that's kind of been a trend with the last couple dungeons of just, like, really stupid bullshit, like, crossfire zones. And there's, like, nothing you can really do about it.
I was about to say, like, did Falcom take some notes from the Nier games for enemy placement for that?
I mean, this game was originally released in, what, 2015? I think, for the Vita? So, it's not out of the question.
Alright, having Yuki do the fatal kill there felt real satisfying.
Yeah, he can use the hammer. He's just not very good at it.
Yeah, like his basic swing just feels kind of weightless and floaty, but that fatal kill just had a whole lot of power behind it, and I can dig it.
Also, yeah, the hammer seems like it's not all that like heavy or has that much weight behind it either. So
I guess that makes sense when we consider the fact that the thing has like a really tiny head.
Yeah, it's more for reach than anything. But again, like I said, his main use is running around and shooting things, so...
I'm glad that we found his gym clothes inside this dungeon.
And not just... we didn't just find his gym clothes, we found them right when the game was literally dunking on him for not doing anything.
he probably just like instantly ordered them on Amazon, and because we're like inside the internet right now, they just physically manifested in front of him. Like I said, this game has basically already started operating on Digimon logic, so...
Anyway, it's time to introduce some traps. Are you able to handle some basic timing puzzles?
Aw, fuck.
To say, were we to touch that electricity, it would do a small amount of damage, and it would also paralyze us for a minute, which, you know, that's not fun.
Yeah, it's, especially when you're trying to run up a combo.
Apparently Sora cannot deal with basic timing puzzles, going by this dialogue. Which, that seems kind of weird considering she's the martial artist of the group.
Look, Sora's not so good on the thinking part. She's here to punch things.
You'd think that, like, her reflexes would at least help her out there.
You know, I was gonna make a joke about how she has, like, object permanence issues, but no, that's Ryota.
Oh, this is a self-destruct attack, by the way, if that wasn't obvious.
I didn't even realize that was just a walkway that had just risen up to block the way.
You say we're in the computer, Argate. It can be anything it wants to be.
This is true. That's just not what I parsed that as at first.
So what does mead from inside the computer taste like?
Probably like those little packets of silica salt that come with various computer parts to like keep all the air out.
I was thinking more thermal paste, but that could probably be accurate too. I'm more curious about the solar eggs. Oh shit, we got some ambrosia.
So do those timing puzzles get any more complicated, or is it just like 1 second on, 1 second off type thing throughout the whole game?
I mean, there might be some. These certainly don't.
Right, so between the lunar pork chops, the solar eggs, and the star truffles, there's like some intergalactic grocery store in this game, isn't there?
Possibly.
I mean, I can think of worse kinds of grocery stores.
I want to know what else they got. And I didn't quite catch what we got from that. Did that say Sauron?
No, it was Suiron, I believe. It's some kind of rare gem. But I don't know off the top of my head what it does though. He might only be good for shooting things, but he's pretty fucking good at shooting things. I thought about bringing Asuka back in, but Asuka's not great, like especially in comparison to Sora for boss fights. So it's like, yeah, we're good. Really, at this point, I would like to ditch Yuki, but alas.
Yeah, gotta beat the chapter first.
の中に彼女の精神が囚われているのね。
だいぶ弱っているみてえだ。早く助けないとヤバそうだぞ。
待ってろ姉さん、僕が絶対に助ける。
Anyway, I'm sure it will not surprise you to learn that the spider has a giant weak point on its ass.
こいつまさか柱とリンクしてエネルギーをチェンジする。
だったらまずは柱を叩くぞ。
Were you invisible during that burst, or did like you just or did Sora just dodge it because she was jumping in the middle of it?
No, when you are invincible when you use one of those bursts.
Okay. So I was about to say that's a pretty cool like bit of animation and hitbox synergy there. If like she did dodge it because she was in the middle of a jump for that.
But yeah, I'm sure you can figure out what the strategy here is. Just say break the pillar, hit it while it's trying to open up another one.
This seems deceptively simple. Like I feel like something's about to happen, like when you hit like half health or something.
Well, we're about to find out. Okay, that was really cool.
Yep, that's one way to cast a meteor.
Just drop a fucking satellite on it.
Anyway, yes, as once you hit the halfway point, he instantly gets. It's not all of them, but he gets more of them the lower his health is. So like he started with 3, I think now he has 5 going right now.
What do these pillars do for it?
Well, I mean, aside from the obvious, he does more damage while he's connected to the pillars, and I don't know if we see it right away, but he also starts regenerating health if you let him go too long.
Okay. I was wondering if there was a health regen component to it, and I'm glad I was on right about that.
Anyway, good job, kid. You died at the last second trying to save your sister. We're very proud of you.
I do like that you can see the lines connecting the greed to the pillars. Like that makes it a little quicker to just trace where they are.
ちからかけてくれるなんて久しぶり。お姉ちゃん嬉しいわ。
言ってる場合かっての。体は大丈夫？痛いところとかない？
むしろなんだか調子いいくらいだけど。あ、もしかしてゆうくんが疲れて寝ちゃったお姉ちゃんをベッドに寝かせてくれたの？もうなんだかんだ言っていつも優しいんだから。
さすがにのんきすぎるでしょ。
もう大丈夫みたいだな。
本当によかったです。異界の反応も消えた。これにて任務完了ね。
やれやれ、どうなることかと思ったが、神様アプリについてもなんとかケリがつきそうだな。
篠宮くんのアフターケアが良かったと言うべきでしょうね。サーバーにあった神様の言う通りのシステムはあの場で完全に消去された。その上ユーザーの端末全てからアプリを消してしまったなんてね。
I do have to admit, it's very thorough that he somehow managed to have it delete itself off of every single device that had it installed.
That's kinda concerning, but I guess we already have a huge laundry list of cybercrimes on our plate, so I guess what's one more for the road, I guess?
しかし今回の事件はさすがにとんでもなかったな。まさかネット上のアプリ
Well, I mean, I'm just sitting here thinking that just like everyone who downloaded it deleted it of their own volition because like the damn thing doesn't fucking work anymore. So, you know, if you've got an app that you open up and like it says cannot connect to server anymore, like it's probably not going to be sticking around for very long on your phone.
へいへい、たくこの秘密主義が。
コウ先輩、アスカ先輩。
ようそら、どうしたそんな慌てて。
すみません、急いでお伝えしたいことがあって。教室にいなかったからつい探し回っちゃいました。なんだか嬉しそうにしているわね。
They cut class to have this conversation?
先輩方。
篠宮、お前登校してきたのか。
やだな。何を
Can't believe Sora managed to drag the nerd to school.
平日にきちんと登校する。学生として自然な姿じゃない。
あのな。
私も本当に驚いちゃって。これからはちゃんと投稿することにしたの？
まあね、例の通知も渡されたことだし。あんたらみたいなのがいるなら学園も面白そうだって思ってね。
そうか。
Considering all the insanity that happens to this group, I don't think you have a fucking chance of that, Yuki, but,
手伝ってあげるよ。僕
anyway,
天才的
welcome
な
aboard
頭脳
Team Looney Tunes.
必要だろうしね。
たく、お前全然懲りてないだろ。
改めてよろしくね。参ったわね。ネメシスの人間である私が一般人の協力者を増やして悪くないだなんて。
I could get used to this whole friends thing.
Wasn't like the whole point of Yuki's arc about how he can't just do everything by himself? Like, shouldn't Asuka have extrapolated something from that too?